Hello and welcome to another power yoga session. I hope you are ready to get moving and breathing and sweating together because I know I am. I'm ready to get on my mat. I have been kind of moving all over the place today. I've done a lot, but I also feel like I haven't gotten a lot done, if that makes sense. And honestly, it reminds me a little bit of if you've ever read or heard the story of Alice in Wonderland. The character, the title character, Alice, is in this dream world that's really kind of off, and it's very dreamlike and sometimes even nightmare-like. But it's populated with creatures that are very imaginative. And one of the things that emerges during Alice's time in Wonderland is that there are experiences that she has and characters and archetypal type experiences that she has that are very reminiscent of real life. And so there's kind of this absurd mirror that's put up to real life, where these absurd characters and these absurd circumstances are behaving in some cases much the same way as we do, and as our people that we're familiar with. And the Mad Queen, who is a character that Alice meets in Wonderland, she says something. She said she's always running everywhere. She's running very fast, and she's moving. She has to run everywhere that she goes. And one time she says to Alice, in my world, you have to run as hard as you can just to stay in one place. In my world, you have to run as hard as you can just to stay in one place. And basically, like, you have to work very hard just to stand still. And I think sometimes we have days like that. You know, my day was a little bit like that, where I feel like I have done a lot, but I didn't actually accomplish a lot, and that's okay. You know, sometimes we have those days, and anytime I have one of those days, something that I do, and perhaps this is helpful for you if you have had one of those days, is I take a few moments to get really granular about my day and walk myself through my day minute by minute, hour by hour, maybe chunk it up into half-hour chunks or 15-minute chunks, and think about what I did in each of those segments. And then usually what occurs is I discover during that brief mindfulness practice, I discover, first of all, that I actually did a lot more and got a lot more done and a lot more accomplished than I previously thought. And second of all, that my day usually has dimensions of richness and dimensions of value and things that I value. And when at first glance I might not necessarily think of that. So I hope that is encouraging to someone. All right, let's go ahead and move to our mats together. Lie down on your back, and we will begin breathing and moving and observing our bodies, observing our breath together. So if you would lie down on your back, you can lightly rest your hands on your belly, or you can have your arms out by your sides. Find a comfortable, stable position for yourself, comfortable and grounded, something that means different things to different people, certainly. And maybe this is your opportunity to mentally lay aside the details of your day, the details of your life, and to be all here and be all now, which is truly one of the most noble things that you can do, but also one of the most challenging. Let's take a few intentional breaths together. So all together, let's take a double inhale and exhale everything out. Double inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Double inhale through the nose. Exhale, blow it out. Now, if you would, inhale, reach the arms overhead toward the back of the room. Point the toes toward the front. And on the exhale, hug the knees to the chest, rounding the spine. Inhale to extend, reach the arms, point the toes. Exhale, knees to chest, rounding the spine. Inhale, reach the arms overhead again. Exhale, just the right knee. Inhale, extend, reach arms to toes. Exhale, just the left knee. Again, inhale, arms overhead, reach. Exhale, just the right. Inhale, reach. Exhale, just the left. Bend the knees and plant the feet on the earth. Walk the feet back up toward the heels. And release the arms down by your sides. Flip the palms up toward the sky. And so when you flip the palms up to the sky, we also flip the insides of the elbows up toward the sky and maybe even out to the sides. And so this is an external rotation. And so with the palms up toward the sky, the arms are straight. See if you can bring the arms overhead. Now this time the palms are toward the back of the room, or pointing in the same direction as the crown of your head. And now keep this external rotation. I know it's hard to do as you reach the arms overhead, and maybe you can get the palms down on the mat. That is challenging. Arms overhead in this external rotation. I can barely keep this rotation, and my pinkies aren't even really touching the mat, and definitely the pinky side of my palm isn't touching the mat, but I'm kind of moving in that direction. All right, now inhale, bring the arms overhead. Again, the palms are facing toward the back of the room. Exhale, arms down by your sides. Okay, so we're going to keep with these arm raises in an external rotation. So inhale as you reach the arms overhead. Exhale as you relax them down onto the earth. Inhale, arms overhead. And exhale as you relax them down by your side. One more time in the external rotation. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale as you relax them down onto the earth. Inhale, arms overhead. And exhale down by your sides. Now we're going to reverse this in an internal rotation. And so flip the palms down onto the mat. So the thumbs are pointing towards your hips. Now inhale, arms overhead, reaching the fingers toward the sky. Exhale, reach the back, so the hands down onto the earth. So this is a new or internal rotation. Inhale, arms overhead, palms are towards your feet. Exhale, palms toward the earth. All right, so take it away on your own time, on your own breath. 3 more full rounds of breath as you bring the arms up and overhead, nice and slow, keeping this rotation the entire way. All right, now one more time, hug the knees to the chest. Pick the tailbone up off the mat and pick the head and shoulders off the mat too, and gently roll side to side. So even though you're picking your head and shoulders off the mat and you're using your legs to support yourself, can you also use your abdominals to create this rounded boat shape from your hips to your shoulders? And so it's not even so much about grabbing a hold of the legs. Maybe you can even reach the arms toward the in the same direction as your tailbone. So you're activating your abdominals to scoop out that low belly and to press the low back into the earth. All right, now take it through a few little rounded rolls here. Rock and rolls up to the neck, down to the tailbone, up to the neck, down to the tailbone. And after you've done a couple of those, maybe give yourself a couple a little extra challenge. See if you can pause in this seated boat position just for a moment. And then you might roll it back again and see if you can pause in this boat position. I went too far, too much momentum. Roll it back, see if you can pause again. Oh, lots of core control. Let's do a couple more of these. All right, once you've done a handful of those, go ahead and roll forward over the ankles and take it into tabletop, right into a few rounds of cat-cow. Nice and loose with the low back. Forward, backward flexion of the spine. Inhale as you draw the sternum forward. Exhale as you round the spine. Forward, backward. Now, in this cat-cow, if you want to try some rocking forward and backward, it can create a nice, complete ocean wave sort of feeling as you rock it forward and back, and also gives you a little bit of an opportunity to warm up the wrists, also the hips. Shift your body weight forward as you round the spine. Shift your body weight back as you relax it toward the earth. And you find full range of motion here in the spine before we start to introduce some strength movements here. And maybe start to introduce to some organic movements here. So maybe some right to left movements here. Maybe some big circles with the rib cage here. And you might swing the hips back toward the heels. Another thing you can do here while you're warming up on all fours is to flip the hands onto the backs of the palms. So as you're shifting some body weight forward and back, as you're taking your cat-cows, your hip circles, your shoulder circles, you're also warming the wrist in this, what would this be called? Flexion, wrist flexion, I think this would be called. Wrist extension. Another thing you can do is still have the palms on the mat, but just walk them around backwards, right? So that the hands are pointing, or the fingers are pointing toward the knees. We've already talked about this rotation of the shoulders here, but if you have forgotten already, this is called external rotation, right? And so when the hands are neutral like this, with the insides of the palms, or the insides of the elbows toward one another, that would be neutral. And then if you walk the hands around so that the fingers are pointing toward the knees, that would be an external rotation of the shoulders. Fun facts. All right, let's bring the hands back to a normal position underneath the shoulders here. Palms are shoulder width apart. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Curl the toes under. Take an inhale. And on the exhale, straighten the legs, lift the hips, take it back to downward facing dog. Your first downward facing dog of practice, so make it really wiggly, lots of movement here. If you want to bend and straighten one knee, then the other. If you want to bend both knees, maybe you take it down into a low, low crouch. That's kind of fun. And then straighten the knees again. Just explore movement here in downward facing dog. Maybe take it forward and back into a plank and into a downward facing dog. With your breath. All right, glance back at your feet. Walk your hands back towards your feet, coming into a forward fold at the back of the mat. Soft bend in the knees. And gently sway side to side. And maybe as you move, gently bend and release one knee, then the other. And so you're exploring just a little bit of rotation around the legs here as you keep the feet firmly grounded into the earth. You're just rotating your upper body around your feet here. All right, heel toe the feet together. Bring the hands to the shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Lengthen the crown of the head forward. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale to stand. Sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. All right, from the back of the mat, half sun salutations right here. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, sweep the arms. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. So just a quick little tip about sun salutations. Everybody does them differently, and I am convinced that there's no right or wrong way to do it, just in case you're curious why I'm doing what I'm doing, one is the easy fact that I have a wall right next to me. So the way my practice space is set up, my camera is as far away from me as it possibly can get, but I still, which means that I'm against the wall. And so usually when we do a half sun salutation, I might cue you to do a swan dive over the legs, right? So the arms are out by the sides, but if I do that, I hit the wall here. And so I reach forward as I fold forward over the legs. There's no right or wrong with that. So you might kind of explore which you prefer, whether you like sweeping the arms to the sides as you fold forward and also as you stand up, or if you prefer sweeping the arms forward. It loads the low back just a little bit more. So perhaps it might introduce a little bit more resistance to the low back, both as you fold and then also as you stand back up. So just be mindful of that. All right. Let's do 3 half sun salutations with the breath at the back of the mat. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, sweep the arms. Exhale, hands to heart center. That's 1. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, sweep the arms. Exhale, hands to heart center. That's 2. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, sweep the arms. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. That's 3 half sun salutations. All right, so step your feet forward on the mat. Oh, you don't have to. I just did that because I didn't want to run into my plants. Inhale, arms overhead. Now take a soft bend in the knees. As you exhale, sweep the arms behind you. Inhale, arms overhead, back up to standing. Exhale, sweep the arms behind you. You might recognize these as skier breaths. We're going to use these to build some heat in the body. Inhale, exhale, 8 more, 7 more, 6 more, 5 more, 4 more, 3 more, 2 more, last one. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Walk it out to plank and hold here at the top of that plank for a moment. And try rocking your body weight forward and backward on the wrists. Again, warming up the ankles just a little bit. And just for a little bit of extra core warm-up, you can always skip this part. Let's do some Spider-Man planks. So tap the knee to elbow, knee to elbow, knee to elbow, knee to elbow. Now, as you do this, keep going, right, left, right, left. Imagine that you've got a platter sitting on your low back here, right? And so you don't want to spill it. You want to keep your low back stable, your shoulders stable, because you don't want to spill all the delicious food that's on the platter. All right, take it back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg, lead with the heel. Exhale, step it through next to the right thumb. Lower the back knee to the earth, hands frame the front foot. Take an inhale. Exhale, roll towards straight. Let's use our breath to flow. Inhale. Exhale. 3 full rounds. Bring the front knee back over the front ankle. Curl the toes under. Inhale for crescent lunge. Warrior 2 on the exhale. Flip the right palm up. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reverse warrior. Gaze goes up. Inhale, back to warrior 2. Exhale, circle the hands. Step it back to plank. Take it through a flow. Two breaths in downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, step it through next to the left thumb. Lower the back knee to the earth. Same thing on this side. Front knee over the front ankle on the inhale. Exhale into the hamstring. Inhale forward. Exhale, lead with the tailbone. 3 full rounds of breath. Front knee over the front ankle. Curl the toes under. Engage the back leg. Inhale for crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior 2. Flip the left palm up. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reverse warrior. Gaze goes up. Keep that knee bend in the front knee. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, circle the hands to the earth. Step it back to plank. Take it through a flow. Two breaths in downward facing dog. All right, little extra challenge here in downward facing dog. As you're looking back at your feet, pick your heels up all the way off the mat so you're on your tippy toes here. And now drop your heels off to the right of both of your feet so that your feet are like little train cars and they're pointing to your left. All right, so here in this rotation with the legs, I want you to inhale, bring the hips low and in line with the shoulders, coming forward into a plank. Exhale into downward facing dog. Should feel a nice stretching opening in the side waist. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale. Let's do 3. Inhale. Exhale. That was fun. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Drop the heels off to the left side of the toes so your feet are now pointing to the right. Inhale, plank. Downward facing dog, exhale. Inhale, lower with control. Exhale. 3 more times. All right, bring your feet back to neutral And walk your hands back towards your feet. Let your upper body hang over the legs, and maybe slip your hands into the elbows. Gently roll side to side. Nod your head yes, shake your head no. And as you sway side to side and rotate from the tailbone, maybe bend and straighten one knee, then the other. And feel that little twist come into your IT band. So good. All right, bring the hands to the shins, halfway lift, lengthen the crown of the head forward. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale to stand, sweep the arms. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. All right, step your feet about mat width apart. All right, so nice and wide, wider even than a squat stance. Reach around behind your back, interlace the hands, and let gravity pull the hands toward the earth for a moment. Roll the shoulder blades together. Tuck your tailbone under, so activate the low belly and soften the lower ribs toward the earth. So you're not just turning this into like a big back bend like so, but you're keeping your hips and your shoulders and your belly in line. So this is more some opening for the chest, the fronts of the shoulders. Take an inhale. And on the exhale, hinge forward and down over the legs. And if it's comfortable for you, maybe once again explore some little rotation here. Bending one knee, straightening the other. Notice how bending one knee and leaning into the other side can also feel a nice little stretch, little opening in the side waist. All right, bring the hands back to the low back, unclasp them. Oh, yeah, shake out the wrists, the elbows. Okay, here back to the back of the mat. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Walk it out to plank. Take it through a flow. Inhale, lift the right leg. This time, bend the knee. Stack the right hip on top of the left. Exhale, step it through next to the right thumb. Inhale for crescent lunge. Find your balance. Exhale, warrior two. Flip the right palm up. Inhale, reach forward. And exhale, reverse warrior. Gaze goes up. Inhale, back to warrior two. Exhale, side angle, right fingertips find the earth or right elbow finds the knee, depending on how you're feeling today. And at this point in your practice, you might take a nice little gentle side angle here at the beginning, and then you might intensify it later on. Take an inhale. Exhale, circle the left hand to the earth. Lift the back heel. Inhale, reach the right fingertips to the sky. Exhale, circle the right hand to the earth. Step it back to plank. Take it through a flow. Left side, inhale, lift the left leg, bend the knee, stack the hips. Exhale, step it through next to the left thumb. Crescent lunge on the inhale. Warrior two on the exhale. Flip the left palm up, inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reverse warrior, gaze goes up. Inhale, back to warrior two. Exhale, find your side angle. So maybe it's your elbow to your knee. Maybe your hand finds the earth. And maybe with your right arm, maybe your right fingertips are up toward the sky, or you might extend the side angle a little bit, creating a straight line down the whole right side of the body. They are all side angles. Find a variation that feels nice for you at this point in the sequence. And spoiler alert, we will come back to this same sequence. And so don't feel like you need to spend all your goodies right now. Take an inhale. Exhale, circle the hand to the earth, lift the back heel. Inhale, reach the left fingertips to the sky. Exhale, circle the left hand back to the mat, step it back to plank, take it through a flow. Hey, let's pause in child's pose. Bring the big toes to touch, knees nice and wide, forehead is on the mat. Reach the arms forward. And just pause here for a moment in stillness, in your breath. Pay particular attention to the exhales. And let your belly expand and contract with every full round of breath here. Child's pose. So this is just a reminder, you can always come back to child's pose at any point for any reason or no reason. No one has to tell you to come to child's pose. And one of the nice things about a pre-recorded class like this is that you're not sitting here comparing yourself to someone else that's on a mat next to you, or me, or some picture of a yogi that you have in your head. It's just you, and it's just, how does this feel in your body now? When is the appropriate time for a rest? When is the appropriate time to explore your limits and explore the edge, the boundary, the unexplored frontier? We've talked about that many times. All right, so from child's pose, curl the toes under, take an inhale. And on the exhale, straighten the legs, lift the hips, take it back to downward facing dog. We'll close out this sequence back up at the top of the mat. So glance up at the hands, walk, step, or float your feet to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, sweep the arms. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. From the top, inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the earth. Step it back to plank. Take it through a flow. Right side, inhale, lift the right leg, bend the knee, stack the hips. Exhale, step it through next to the right thumb. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Flip the left palm up, inhale, reach forward. And on the exhale, reverse warrior, gaze goes up. Inhale, back to warrior two. Exhale, side angle. Explore that openness down the left side waist here, and as you glance down, your right hand, generally speaking, most people put their right hand inside the right foot, but sometimes you'll see the side angle with the right hand outside the right foot. You might explore what feels nice for you today. I'm going to park my left hand on my waist here just to get it out of the way and not have it hanging out up and overhead for today. That feels nice for me. Take an inhale, and on the exhale, circle the left hand to the earth, plant the hand beneath the shoulder, lift the back heel, and inhale, reach the right fingertips to the sky. Now we're going to stay for a full round of breath here in this revolved side angle, and so you might find that wrap around the backside waist. That's a nice way to get the right arm out of the way. Breathe into that right outer hip, also the left hip flexor. Take an inhale. And exhale, let it go. On the next inhale, sweep the right fingertips back up toward the sky. Exhale, circle the hand to the earth. Step it back to plank. Take it through a flow. Left side, inhale, lift the left leg, bend the knee, stack the hips. Exhale, step it through. Crescent lunge on the inhale. Warrior two on the exhale. Move with balance and control. Flip the left palm up, inhale, reach the left fingertips forward. On the exhale, reverse warrior, gaze goes up. Inhale, back to warrior two. Side angle on the exhale. Since we're here for a few rounds of breath, can you find even more space in this shape? Can you find more of a sense of ease? Can you find more of a space to exhale into? On the next inhale, prepare, and on the exhale, circle the right hand to the earth. Plant the right hand beneath the shoulder, lift the back heel. Inhale, reach the left fingertips to the sky, revolved side angle. And so the feet basically haven't moved, but the upper body is now rotated and facing the other way, the opposite way. So that's a revolved side angle. I'm finding the wrap around the backside waist with the left hand, left arm. And on the next inhale, reach the left fingertips back up toward the sky. Exhale, step the left foot back to meet the right. Take it through a flow. Glance up at the hands, walk, step, or float your feet to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. All right, so from the top of the mat, inhale, arms overhead. And on the exhale, let's find a rotation to the right, just a standing rotation, open arm twist. Reach the right fingertips back toward the back of the room, left fingertips forward. And it's not just about the arms, it's also about bringing the shoulders into this twist. Not the hips, though. Keep the hips square with the front of the mat. Inhale, arms overhead, back to center. Exhale, open arm twist to the left. Inhale, arms overhead, back to center. Let's go one more time to the right. Inhale, back to center. One more time to the left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Take it through a flow. All right, back to the same sequence on the right side, and we're going to once again take it option to take it deeper. Inhale, lift the right leg, bend the knee, stack the hips. Exhale, step it through next to the right thumb. Inhale, crescent lunge. Warrior two on the exhale. Flip the right palm up. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale, back to warrior two. Side angle on the exhale. So now in the side angle, you've got some options. You always have options in side angle, but you can find that wrap around the backside waist. There's another. You could take the double wrap here if you want to pick up your right arm and reach back and grab for your left hand around behind your right glute. The idea here is that you still keep your chest open to the left edge of the mat. You're not closing your chest down toward the earth, and you're finding that nice long line of energy down the left side waist here. So it's real crunchy on the right side, but open and long down the left side. If you find that bind, keep that front knee over the front ankle. In the side angle, take an inhale. And on the exhale, circle the left hand to the earth. Plant the left hand beneath the shoulder. Inhale, revolved side angle. So we're unwinding that crunch, that little pinch that we took in the right side waist. Now we're opening it up. And just like on the other side, you can find that wrap around the back side waist. There's even a double wrap here in this revolved side angle that's kind of crazy. Oh, didn't find it. You can try for that if you want. Breathe into that right outer hip, left hip flexor. We're going to hang out here for a few more breaths because it feels so very nice. And so if you want to lower the back knee to the earth, please be my guest. And if you have the right arm wrapped around the backside waist, if you would like to perhaps reach back and grab hold of that back foot, then you might pull that stretch into the left quadricep, left hip flexor. Remember to breathe. All right, and then let's slowly begin to unwind whatever you did for your revolved side angle. So curl the back toes under again. Unwind the arms so that the hands are underneath the shoulders. Step it back to plank and take it through a flow. Left side, inhale, lift the left leg, bend the knee, stack the hips. Exhale, step it through next to the left thumb. Crescent lunge on the inhale. Warrior two on the exhale. Flip the left palm up. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reverse warrior, gaze goes up. Inhale, back to warrior two. Side angle on the exhale. So again, we're now in side angle again, and so you have the option to explore a wrap around the backside waist or a double wrap, where perhaps you catch hold of your hands around behind your left glute. But remember here, you're still spiraling the chest, the midline toward the right edge of the mat. Maybe the gaze is up toward the sky. Your front knee is still locked over the front ankle and your back leg is still engaged and straight. Remember to breathe. All right, let's unwind. And exhale, circle the right hand to the earth. Lift the left fingertips toward the sky. And then perhaps find that wrap around the backside waist on this side, revolve side angle. And I've lowered my back knee to the earth. If that's what you did on the other side, then please feel free. Or you can stay lifted for a little extra challenge in the legs here. And let's unwind whatever variation or add-on you took. Go ahead and energize the back leg, plant the palms beneath the shoulders again, step it back to plank and take it through a flow. All right, lower the knees to the earth, bring the big toes to touch, so have the feet beneath the hips here. Come into a kneeling position. Inhale, bring the arms overhead, seal the palms toward one another, squeeze the elbows against the sides of the head, lift up from the waist, and then bend at the elbows. Bring the hands behind the neck here. Find a nice lifted, active position for the upper back. Soften the lower ribs down toward the earth. Nice and straight through the spine, tall through the crown of the head. Inhale, arms overhead again. And on the exhale, plant the palms, curl the toes under, take it back to downward facing dog. So all that action you took between the shoulder blades and the upper back, that lift, that stabilization, that's the same sort of stabilization you want to feel always in downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, step it through next to the right thumb. Lower the back knee to the earth, and then heel toe that right foot off to the left. Lower the right knee down toward the earth, moving into your pigeon here. So you're laying the right leg down, and the idea here is that you're not feeling it in your knee, you're feeling it in your hip. All right, and so stay lifted for the first few moments, for the first few breaths. As you get nice and comfortable, maybe glance back at your back leg. Make sure it's straight back behind you. Hips are square with the front of the mat. And this might be as low as you go for today. Or if you would like to, fold your upper body down over that front leg. And as you get more comfortable here, as you discover space, or as space begins to open up and get more familiar, you might move into that territory. Now press the palms into the earth, curl the toes under, energize the back leg, and sweep it back to a three-legged dog. Maybe bend the knee, stack the hip again. Unwind that outer hip. All right, let's go right into it on the other side. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, step it through next to the right thumb. Lower the back knee to the earth and heel toe that foot off to the right. As you lay the left knee down off to the left, and you'll probably walk your foot toward your hips a little bit, and so that your knee is a little bit further away. Just like on the other side, it takes a few moments to maybe start to get nice and comfy in this hip opener. And so you might perhaps start to lower. If it's comfortable for you, you might fold your upper body down over that front leg. As is always the case with these longer holds, these longer stretches, just because we're spending several breaths in a particular hold doesn't mean that you get to just switch your brain off and stop listening and stop paying attention, right? Sometimes it's perfectly appropriate to keep moving in a particular stretch. Keep moving into that space, keep moving out of that space, keep exploring different spaces. Even static holds are a work in progress. All right, press the palms into the earth, curl the toes under,
Lift the left leg toward the sky, bend the knee, stack the hip, take a couple little knee circles. And then from downward facing dog, bring the legs around in front of you. Hug both knees to the chest for a moment. Gently roll side to side. And we're going to take a reclined hamstring stretch here. So with both knees bent, reach up and grab hold of the right big toe with your right index, your 3 fingers of your right hand. And so you're wrapping your fingers around the big toe. Now you can relax the left leg down onto the earth. The idea is that it would be straight, but sometimes it's more comfortable if you have a soft bend. And now what I want you to do is kick the heel toward the sky. So kick until your right knee is straight and you're kicking into the right hand. Keep kicking the heel toward the sky. And the idea here is that your shoulder is now, the action of your shoulder is rooting down toward the earth. And so there's these opposing forces as you kick the heel toward the sky and as you roll the shoulder down toward the earth. And so the idea here is that you're stretching your hamstring. I'm assuming that's what you feel. If you can, relax your left leg straight down onto the earth, but if that is not accessible for you, you're just fine. All right, go ahead and re-bend that right knee, and we're just going to go right into it on the other side. Left fingers wrap around the left big toe, and now as you kick the heel toward the sky, moving towards straight with the knee joint, you're also rolling the left shoulder toward the earth. All right, and then slowly release that left leg back down onto the earth. Any other final little fidgets and movements that you would like to take before you move into your final resting pose, please go ahead and do that so that you can approach these next few moments of your practice in stillness, in rest, in ease, and to truly be all present on your mat, in your body, in your practice. Shavasana. And slowly begin to reawaken the body. Wiggle the fingers, the toes, roll out the wrists, the ankles. Reach the arms overhead toward the back. Point the toes toward the front. Take a deep breath and a full body stretch from fingers to toes and everything in between. And on the exhale, roll over to the right side. And when you are ready, slowly press the earth away. Make your way back up to a comfortable seated position. Close your eyes when you get there. Lightly rest your hands in your lap. On the next inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. Thank you for allowing me to guide you through your practice. Have a beautiful day. Namaste. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a good day.